Well, I think for most people living in Tel Aviv, they would not be very happy to be on the receiving end of the title. But I think it is important to remember that high prices are not necessarily bad. For example, one reason that Singapore ranks so highly is that it's very expensive to own a car here. And one side benefit of that is that we have very low levels of congestion. Of course, that's a policy choice on the part of the government here. Likewise, in Tel Aviv, it's a relatively expensive place to buy petrol and to buy alcohol. And it's become relatively more expensive through the course of this year. But they're prices that are highly influenced by government decisions. So there is part of it that is about policy and not so where high prices might be desirable. But other things like currencies and then local demand, availability of manufactured goods, supply chain shortages, and of course inflation are all playing a big role as well.
Yeah, it's interesting that topping this list, there is a read across to some of those cities that have been cited as the best places for doing business traditionally as well. And that would in part explain why the tightness of land supply, why prices of prime property are so expensive. As you look at the list this time round, there are some notable fallers. And let me just throw, I think, Rome into the mix here, which has come down quite a lot. Can you draw any parallel in the movement of cities with their either improvement or failing when it comes to good places to do business?
I think there's certainly some connection, but I wouldn't say it's very tight or very direct. Prices can go up or down for different reasons. Now, if a place is a really good spot to do business, then you'd expect more demand for the kinds of goods that business people are looking to buy, and that's what this index is based on. And so the better you are for business, you might expect to be more expensive. One key factor with the cities that have fallen down this year, Rome is a big one, but there are others, including Dubai and Bangkok, where prices actually fell as compared to the last survey. These are all cities, along with Rome, that rely on high levels of visitors. And a lot of the demand in the city, the local demand, is coming from people who are in temporarily either for business or in these cities, tourism being a big one as well. So through the last year, with that source of demand being much, much lower, a lot of services and goods that perhaps otherwise had higher prices because of the bottlenecks or high demands from business travelers and tourists that have relatively lower price elasticities, they're less respondent to higher prices, has meant that in those places, the extra capacity that lack of travel has built up means that some of these goods prices have actually fallen as a result.